So, but starting this meeting, which is a meeting in which we discuss about projects, research project activities, and so on, together with the organizers, we consider it was really interesting to have here a presentation from our colleague, Claudio Testani, presenting the scenarios, perspectives, and opportunities in the frame of the Horizon Europe, which is the European project covering the research activities, innovation activities in the next 7 years. So before discussing about our project, it's important to understand which is the general framework in which European research will be addressed in the next years. So thanks to all of you for being here. And now I think that Claudio can start with his presentation.
Thank you, Franco. Can you hear me?
Yes.
No? Okay, wonderful.
Okay. You can share your screen.
I try to share, yes. I try. Okay. Okay, I believe that, so thank you again. My name is Claudio Testani. Let me say, work at APRE, and I have also participate to the Cluster 4. You will see what is Cluster 4 for industry, digital, and space in the second pillar of the Horizon Europe for the Italian definition. So Horizon Europe, just let me give some ideas because it's very complex to, in a quarter of hour, give a landscape or a description of this very, very huge program. In any case, the base are to strengthen the European scientific and technological base, the European research area, then to give a boost to the European innovation capacity, and also you see that competitiveness, also jobs, but I will say good jobs in the sense that the fairness, that the welfare of citizen is very important for this project. And also to deliver on citizen priority, let me say the European social model and values. These also are in line with the commissioner of research has said. Is a wonderful project, probably the biggest project. When it was settled, we speak about 100 billion euro. Now I have, let me say, give you some more information that probably due to this pandemic situation, the budget will be reduced down to 84, 85 billion euros. In any case, if you think that the Horizon 2020 was about 75, is let me say a good improvement. Again, this project will take the climate change, will be focused on obtaining a sustainable development goal, and also to help the union competitiveness and growth. Obviously, this is also in line with the 6 ambitions for Europe that are official ambition. Just a couple of, probably you know this, but again, the European Green Deal, at this time it seems that really Europe will work to be the first climate neutral continent. It's not, it's a very important thing. And then also try to work for an economy that works for the people. And this is also for probably a new concept that will be officially entering in this Europe Horizon program. Then you obviously you can see there is also promoting the Europe thinking of the way of life, and also pushing for let me say strengthening and helping our democracy. So there is 2 lines: research, economic, and also social problems. It's a quite complex system. Because again, the main scientific, the main impact of this program will be scientific, societal, and also economic. Again, you remember that together with scientific, you have societal and economic impact that are let me say, at the same level in this sense, because probably the science people, the scientists that are working for research does care very much about these two impacts. You can also read. I don't want to take many time reading all these lines, but they are the main lines that will be developed during the 6-year 21-27 period of research. Obviously, there is a lesson learned from Horizon 2020, and there are also some key novelties. That there's the European Innovation Council, the establishment of a research and innovation mission. That will be some work about the missions. And then there also an important emphasis on the open science, and also the possibility to extend also to countries that are not so rich as the Western countries, and also to experiment new partnership, new collaboration between participants to the project. So now the three pillars of the Horizon Europe. The pillar 1, excellent science, that is divided into 3 clusters: European Research Council, the Marie Curie action that you know very well, I hope. Research infrastructure, that means collaboration between large infrastructure. The pillar 2 is probably the real core of all the program. You have 6 clusters: health, culture, creativity and inclusivity, society, civil security for society, digital, industry and space. This is probably a very huge cluster, because we will see that in the past program there will be 3 different let me say cluster or sector that have been merged in only one. Then we have climate, energy, mobility, food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture and environment. Another very important point is the joint research center role, that have to, let me say, give like a guide and bring data for developing knowledge. Then we have the 3rd pillar. The 3rd pillar is Innovative Europe. European Innovation Council has been established. The European Innovation Ecosystem and the European Institute for Innovation Technology are the 3 main clusters of this pillar. As you can see, there is the participation and strengthening of the European research area. This is the base of all these pillars, and also the widening participation and spreading excellence is another important point for this program. Looking a little bit in detail for the pillar 1, you find the European Research Council. That means that they are aimed to bring resources to best researchers and their teams. The Marie Curie action that helps the young researcher through mobility and training. And then we have also found some research infrastructure. That means help for integration and collaboration between the, let me say, first class research infrastructure. So collaboration and integration is the, let me say, leitmotif of this program. The pillar 2, global challenge European industry, is really very huge system. We have already seen the 6 cluster in which this pillar is being divided, and I might say that each one of these one is like a program itself. I say that the digital industry space has been merged. Really, I have worked for this cluster here at APRE, and you can say that, for instance, in the previous Horizon 2020 program, the ICT, nanotechnology, materials, biotechnology, manufacturing, and space were, let me say, separate. They have separate budget. This is a very important thing. Now we have only one cluster, but why this? Because you have to think that there are many points that are transversal, that are probably developed here like advanced material, but have an impact of all the other sectors. And so probably this is the key for reading this choose for merging. If you look in detail, the digital into space, but also this is real also for the other clusters, you find, for instance, many key nodes orientation area that are the main point for the orientation of the research that have this characteristic of transversal, like, for instance, advanced materials or emerging enabled technology that can have impacts on all the other sectors. Obviously, this is based, as you can find, between the systematic approach based on impact, interdisciplinarity, and also intersectorial. So this is another important point. The European, on the pillar 3, I will just to remark this point, the European Innovation Council will give to support to innovation and breakthrough and market credit potential is very close, and integrate the two instruments that are the Pathfinder grants and the accelerators. Both of these are, let me say, already present in the last program of Age 2020, and just to give you a number, the 70% of the budget is dedicated to the SME industries. Pillar 2 also design missions and partnership. Unfortunately, there is no time to give more detail, but about the mission, I would like just to give you that we'll push the ambitious but achievable and the limited time objective, encouraging citizen participation. What does mean citizen participation? Because it's complex things. I invite you to join this webinar. Is from Foundation of Netherlands Foundation, and here you can, let me say, apply if you are interested. In any case, will be increased the participation in research from, let me say, low and middle income countries, so will be a larger participation, and also the role of JRC will be enhanced. The mission areas have been defined 5 large mission areas. Adaptation to climate change, including societal transformation, is offered by cluster 5 and 2 mainly. The fight against cancer, the soil health and food, climate neutral and small cities, healthy ocean, seas, coastal, inland waters to preserve these water resources. From the 5 mission areas, they give the missions, they produce missions, and the missions should be targeted with titles which give a clear sense of the destination. Now we will see what does it means. The missions means a portfolio of an excellence-based and impact-driven research and innovation action across disciplines and sectors. Intended to, a mission is not a R&I program or just a way to, let me say, cut a part of the Horizon funding reserve, but really mission is a large effort that combines different funding instruments and policy, and probably will be organized from different actors, merging and integrating competencies. There is no fixed budget, but obviously in the first years will be, let me say, some special observation will be made just to understand if this 10% of the annual funding that have been just reserved for the first year will be enough or not. Just an example of a mission, caring, I've selected this just to give you an idea. Caring for soil is caring for life. This is one of these missions. And the goal is by 2030, at least 75% of all soils in each EU member state are good for production. Just to give you also some other detail, 50% of degraded land is restored. Probably we in Italy have very, very clear what this means. For instance, reduce the soil pollution and doubling the rate of restoration of polluted side. This is another important thing. Prevention of erosion, 30 to 50% of land with unsustainable erosion rates. Improve the quality of soil biota, for instance, and also reduce the global footprint from the EU point of view, this is let me say very high level objective. Then conquering counter mission possible. This is no need for explanation. This is another very important mission for European. And also the other three missions that have been defined is a climate resilient Europe, mission Starfish 2030, and 100 climate neutral city by 2030. This is not for free. Coming back to the pillar 2, because obviously from a, let me say, scientific point of view, we came from this part. We are more interested in the pillar 2. We will see that we have, again, a lot of key orientation areas that are important. And just to give you the logic frame that has been developed during the European Horizon program, have been the first legal-based definition, then have been defined as a strategic plan, then the key strategic orientation plan have been defined with the impacts, and now the working plan with the destination. So we are just working from this point to the results. And for instance, for the cluster 4, the destination have been defined in 6 destinations. And I have, let me say, just to give you an idea, outlined the destination 2, a digitized, resource efficient and resilient industry that have been defined in section. Novel paradigm to establish a resilient circular value chains, and then the raw material for European strategic autonomy and successful transition to a climate neutral and circular economy. I have selected this because we are from raw materials meeting. And if you go to this section, raw materials, EU strategic autonomy and successful transition to a climate neutral circular economy, you will find some more detailed target. And I can say that at least 12 topics at the moment have been defined, and this topic will be the base for the call and project. So as you can see, for each section have been defined topics from 3, 17, etc. You can see, and just I put, let's say, the focus on what is more close to the meeting, and when this will happen. This is another point. The launch has been, let me say, has been for last one. We are on late. We are on delay. The commission is on delay, but the launch is expected in the third quarter of 2021. What about the funding rate? Remains quite same. The indirect cost will be a flat rate based on 25%, applying the whole costs except subcontracting, financial support to third party, and the specific costs, for instance, categories that are already in the direct cost. The type of action will be has been confirmed. The innovation, the research innovation action, the coordinated support action, all founded at 100%, except the innovation action for the profit company that have been reduced to 70%. The last information that I would like to give you is the open science across the program, because this is another very important point. The fact that the European Union pay for research, and at the moment is mandatory, for instance, to publish the results on an open access mode. So obviously the IPR will be retained, but what is important that the results that will be obtained should be, let's say, spread in not a closed way, but in a very open, most possible open way for, let's say, circulating this idea and to have the best impact on the people. And that is the real target of all this huge program. So at the moment, I believe, just to give you an idea about obviously the timeline, at the moment, the adoption of the main work package has been, or let me say, retained in the first quarter of the 2021. You can understand that the pandemic situation has make a lot of complexity in all these activity, and also, for instance, the budget is every day I have news, but we will see, in the sense that at the moment the official timeline is this one that I can show you. So with this slide, I have really closed my very short presentation. If you have any question, please. Here I have reported my email, but also the email of my 3 colleagues that are very, let me say, skilled about the Horizon program. All the 3 are the NCP, the National Contact Point for Horizon 2020. So if you have the last call of the last program, please feel free to contact, and here the contact emails. Okay, I have finished. If there is any question, I am here.
Okay.